Good morning, children. Uh, as we have learned in last chapter about writing the chemical formulas, there are a lot of questions given in the back exercise which you need to do, and there are writing the name of the compounds and all that. This we have already done. Today we are starting another topic, that is chemical equations. Now, what are chemical equations? We know that chemical changes are taking place. Now, what is happening in the chemical changes? That written in symbolic form. That is written in symbolic form. We call it chemical equations. Now, if we see, for example, we are having a chemical reaction, that sodium we are putting in water. So, what change take place? Sodium, when reacting with water, it provides large amount of heat. Sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is produced. Now, writing it in this form, that sodium plus water gives sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. We have learned all these things in 7th class also, 8th class also, but we'll just do some revision work. Now, a chemical reaction is being represented in very simple form, that the reactants are written on the left hand side and the products are written on the right hand side. Okay, so in this reaction, if you see, copper sulfate, sodium hydroxide, they are reactants. Now, copper hydroxide formed and sodium sulfate formed are products. So this is a simple chemical reactions which is taking place here. We are writing them in form of chemical formula of the compounds and the new product form their chemical formula. In between them there is an arrow which is showing the direction of the reaction. Now we are coming on to another, that if a chemical reaction is taking place, so how many type of chemical reactions are there? First type is that there may be one reactant, two product or more products. There may be two reactants, one product, two reactants, two product, two reactants, or there may be three or more product formed during that reaction. So there are a lot of reactions which are been already given in your book. You go through it. Now there are reactions are further been classified into two types. One we call it skeleton reactions. The reactions which are not balanced are just been written, where the number of atoms on both the sides are not balanced. We call them skeleton equations. The total number of atoms of each element on one side or on the both the sides, on reactant side or product side, are not balanced. We call them skeleton reaction. For example, one reaction is given, that potassium nitrate when heated gives me potassium nitrite plus oxygen. If I see, my oxygen is not balanced. So such reactions where atoms are not equal on both the sides, we call them skeleton reactions. Now, second type of reaction which is there is a balanced chemical equation. A balanced equation. A balanced equation is that in which total number of atoms of the element on reactant side and that on the product side are equal. We call such type of reactions as a balanced equations. For example, I am having here one reaction of calcium carbonate. If I heat calcium carbonate on thermal decomposition, it will be giving me calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. If I check from both the side, my oxygen is 3 on both sides and calcium is 1, carbon is 1. So this reaction, I'll say, is a balanced reaction. Clear? Now in second case, I am having a equation in which the number of oxygen, as earlier I stated, on both the sides are not equal. Now what I can do, I will multiply it by some number, either on one side, on the reactant side only, or on the reactant and product side. When I am multiplying on the both side, I will see that my number of reactants will become equal. So second question is, why we are not only writing about the skeleton reactions? Why we are only not writing about skeleton reactants? Because when we see the number of reactants or the number of compounds on both the number of atoms of each type on both the sides should be equal as per the law of conservation of mass. What is law of conservation of mass? This says that the mass on product side or on the reactant side should be equal, or in another word, as is said in your book, law of conservation of mass, which states that matter can neither be created nor destroyed. So this we have to see. If the atoms are not balanced on both the sides, their mass will not be equal. So it will not be obeying the or this law of conservation of mass. So how can we balance a chemical equation? There are two methods of balancing a chemical equations. First one method, hit and trial method, and second is a partial equation method. Now if we see about the, let us study now how to balance a chemical reaction by hit and trial method. This hit and trial method already we have studied somewhere in maths when we were balancing the linear equations on left hand side and right hand side, the number of that value of x, like how x plus 2 is equal to 5. So what is the value of x? So we used to say let x be 1, let x be 2, let x be 3. Then we'll see where the sum is coming, where the left hand side is coming equal to the right hand side. So similar to that. So what we will be doing in the hit and trial method, we'll try step number 1, count the number of times an element occurring on either side. The element with the least frequency of the occurrence is balanced first. Is the element which is occurring very less time, that we will be balancing that element first. Now let us take an example here. He said balance the following equation, like copper sulfate plus sulfuric acid is giving me copper plus sulfuric acid is giving me copper sulfate, sulfur dioxide plus water. Now let us see first step, what we will be counting each atoms on left hand side or right hand side. So first we are having copper. We'll see copper, how many atoms are on the first side. We are having one atom, and number of copper atoms on the product side is also 1. If you see hydrogen, we are having 2 hydrogen in sulfuric acid. When we move on to product side, we will get 2 atoms also there. Now we will take sulfur. Sulfur is 1 1 on both the side. Now on first reactant side we are having 1 atom, and on second side, on the product side, we are having sulfur in copper sulfate also and sulfur dioxide. So 2 atoms of sulfur are there. Now in case of oxygen, if you see on the product reactant side we are having 4 atoms, and on the product side we are having 7 atoms. Now this is the first step to count how many atoms of each element are there on both the sides. Now we need to balance it. Now copper and hydrogens are equal on both the sides. Now so to equalize sulfur, what we will, because now second which one is not balanced, so that is sulfur and oxygen. So if we, which is having lowest number of atoms, sulfur is having. So we will try to balance sulfur. And to balance sulfur, well, sulfur is present in which reactant? Sulfuric acid. And if I find on that side, my copper sulfate and sulfur dioxide is having sulfur, where 2 atoms are there. So sulfuric acid will be multiplied by 2. Now if I see, my sulfur will become 2 on both the side. Now hydrogen increases. Earlier hydrogen was 2 on the reactant side, now it become 4. So hydrogen is present in water, I will multiply water with 2. Now if I see and I will check, I will count all the oxygen there, I will find the equation is already been balanced. So you take from any one of the atom and try to balance that, and when you are balancing it, you will find that in the end one element will be there which will get balanced automatically. So there are a lot of reactions which are being given, go through them. Okay, just, and there are some word reactions also which are being given in that chemical reaction is not been written, only the substance. Like example 4, they said ammonia, calcium chloride and water are obtained when we are heating ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide together. Write a balanced chemical equation for that. So first step will be writing a skeleton equation. What will be there? Writing a skeleton equation. Ammonium chloride plus calcium hydroxide giving me calcium chloride plus ammonia plus water. So this is a skeleton equation, and then we will be following same procedure. We will check how many atom of each element are there on the reactant side or product side. Then in the end you will be balancing. You'll find that the equation is balanced. So go through all the equations which are being given here. All the equations which are given are by hit and trial method. Okay, so try to solve them, as there are large number of equations which are given in the exercise. You need to solve them and find their write them in a balanced form. In one given in the word equation, and second question of 4, question 5 is given in a equation form. So try to solve them. Okay.